Yeah, I think it was about, what, 1978, 79. Lenny fought Cliff Fields at the Rainbow. I'm not quite sure if I was on that card. I'm not quite sure if I was on that card, but remember, how many people out there on YouTube, on any channel on YouTube, have been around in them days? Yeah, there isn't anybody, I don't think, who's actually been to them fights. Me, I actually fought one of them fights. You know what I mean? So you know, when people go to Google and all that and Google things out and all that, say, I ain't got to Google it, mate, because I'm the actual person that's been to them fights. I've been there, watched these fights. I've been on them shows. You know what I mean? I remember fighting. I think it was 1979. I fought a guy called Dave Strong. That was at Ilford Palais. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, Ilford Palais. I'm not quite sure now. Was it what? Um, November? Was it November time? Yeah, about November 1979. I fought Dave Strong at the Ilford Palais. I want to put a little poster up on my thumbnail, yeah, and you'll see my name there for Dave Strong. There is about 6 or 7 posters flying around, you know. I know there's three. I've got three of them, but there is 6 or 7 flying about me fighting on different shows. What people don't realise, in my times, there wasn't much videos going about. There was only people like Lenny McLean and maybe Cliff Fields, Roy Shaw, and Joe Pryle. So Joe Pryle was quite into the boxing, a good promoter that sometimes had a camera, had a video going. He didn't have nothing when we used to do the underground ones at the car parks. He didn't have no shows, no videos there or nothing like that yet when I was on them. Um, you got Frankie Warren, but Frankie Warren was very well involved with the papers, so he had videos and cameras most of the time. But even that, there's not a lot of it. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of it, and it's bad. It's bad like showing. A lot of these I've been on all the shows, most of these shows. Yeah, I've had quite a few fights, you know. People keep saying to me, "Oh, show me videos," but you got to understand this. The people that keep saying this, show me the videos, they might be out 40 years of age, 30 years of age, even 50 years, even 60 years of age. You know, but you got to remember I'm a lot older than that, you know what I mean? So, like, in my times, there wasn't none. I'm trying to get one, I think it was, 1980, Acton Town Hall, when I fought there. I had my own shows there, I was my own promoter. I was promoting fights, so I had 2 promotions at Acton Town Hall. I'm trying to get a video, yeah? There was a video done of one of them fights, one of the Acton Town fights, yeah? I'm trying to get it. The only person I know who's got it is a guy called Bob Coleman, that he was my co-promoter. That's why they called it Hillman Promotions, yeah? I remember him having one of the videos, so I'm trying to get hold of him, but I think he's in South Africa, so I'm not quite sure. I've got hold of another guy called Tony Wilson, who's been his partner. I'm having contact with Tony Wilson, which I'm trying to get him to get hold of Bob Coleman, see if I can get hold of the video. I'd love to get hold of that, to put that on YouTube, just to show people one of my shows and what it was like. You know, it was packed. It was packed. It was really, really good, yeah. But I've been to nearly every boxing show in them days, yeah, up to about 82, 83, before I went away again, yeah. So, you know, all them shows, people, you know, listen, people on YouTube that do stories about Lenny McLean, Cliff Fields, and all that. I've actually been there, mate. I've actually been there. You know, been to these shows, been talking to these people, and these people ain't got a clue. They don't know, mate. They don't know, you know what I mean? They forget, you know what I mean? Maybe they look at me and don't think that I'm that age that I say that I am, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've been there, mate. I say most of them people now, I think Paul Fitzgerald, yeah? Paul Fitzgerald, I think he's still alive, Paul Fitzgerald. I think he is, I'm not quite sure, you know what I mean? You got, who else? Mickey May, I'm not quite sure. Mickey May's still alive. I know Columbo's dead. I'm not quite, there's not many that are alive. Lord Waltham's dead. they're most all dead now, you know what I mean? I'm maybe the only one that ain't dead yet, you know what I mean? The way I'm going training in the mornings, I could be dead very soon, you know what I mean? But all jokes aside, Cliff Fields, Lenny McLean's, I've seen all the shows, yeah. I've been there, watched it, and been involved. I'm quite sure that I've been on the shows fighting them, you know. I'm quite sure of that. But I'd love to get all the posters. This one of Lenny McLean with Cliff Fields. There are other fights, but I don't know if it's inside. You know, sometimes in them days, you used to get the little book that tells you all the fighters, yeah. So I'm going to try and get hold of that. It'd be nice to get hold of because I think I'll be in that. I know I was in quite a few fights around that area, you know. Yeah, man. So, you know, I'm just gutted, you know, like when you find one poster, you know, there's a few more, you're looking for them, you can't get them. People have got them, you know, and if you've got them, put them on YouTube so I can look at them, you know what I mean? Lenny McLean and, you know, fighting Cliff Fields or Colombo and all them. But when we done that video called Box On, yeah, that was a good video. That made so many fighters that video, and it made Frankie Warren that made Frankie Warren who he is today. That video, yeah, I mean, and you got to remember Frankie Warren wouldn't be where he was without us people being on his shows. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Lenny was his cousin. Lenny was Frankie Warren's cousin. So, you know, Frankie Warren pushed Lenny into it, you know what I mean? He pushed Lenny into the fighting game, and he really promoted Lenny. He done a good job with Lenny, you know what I mean? And from there, Lenny went to the films and all that, yeah? And that's it, you know. I see Lenny, you know, I've already said it years ago, but I see Lenny in Brixton. He was in the hospital wing, and he didn't look too good, mate. He looked bad, and I was so pleased that when he got off that murder, mate, you know, I couldn't, you know, see a guy like that go and get a big life sentence, you know what I mean? It'd have killed him. He was a good family man and all that, you know. Listen, I always run Lenny down, but it's part of my YouTube. You know, Lenny was a good fighter, mate. Don't worry about that, you know, Dorman and all that. But, you know, so was I. You know what I mean? But the only difference between me and Lenny, I never got much publicity because I don't come from the areas. I don't come from North London, South East London. I come from Acton, you know, people in Acton know me really, really well. I've got a big name in Acton, you know what I mean? But in South East London, North London, in all around them areas, I didn't really have a big name. I had a big name when I worked at a big company, you know what I mean? But the people didn't really know. It wasn't shouted about who I was, you know what I mean? It was just people see who I was, yeah? And my name wasn't that then. My name wasn't Ray Hill, believe me or not. I've got another name, yeah? But it wasn't Ray Hill. So, you know, people don't really know me as such, you know what I mean? But believe me, where I come from, Acton, West London, big name, mate. Big name, like Lenny's name in over in North London, South East London, you know. And anyway, the greatest guy that I've ever met in this unlicensed game was my mate Jimmy Tibbet. You know, he was my mate, and you know, and I met a lot of people with Jim. Jimmy Tibbet is a well-respected man, and I met everybody with him. Paul Moriarty's, you know, I mean, big man Paul, David Long, and all them. I met so many people. David Long, his brother Johnny Long. I think it's Johnny Long, David Long. I mean, my best mate is who I met. Do you know what? I'm really bad. Do you know what I'm getting a bit senile, you know. My head's going a bit, you know what I mean? I keep thinking of things and then all of a sudden it goes, you know. But Brian Cox was a very good friend of mine, mate, Brian Cox. You know, and I didn't only met Brian Cox through Jimmy Tibbet. And Brian Cox stood bail for me on one of my charges, yeah. And Brian Cox used to go around my mum's house and all that, you know. And I'm a bit gutted. It's very, very hard to get hold of Brian Cox. He's a very, very high man now. He's big in the publicity game, you know, big in the film game, and he director, he's everything, isn't he? And he's hard to get hold of. you see him on his talk programs, but you can't get to him. You know what I mean? And would he? If I got to him like that, would he go into one? You know what I mean? Because he doesn't like gangsterism, but gangsterism is where Brian Cox comes from. You know, you've got to remember that. All the people, David Long, David Strucker, all them Gypsy Toms, Terry Coombs, Terry Sharp, Eddie Richardson, Charlie Richardson. He was around all them people, you know what I mean? So, like, it's a bit thing when Brian Cox says he doesn't like gangsterism and all that, but he was in it. He was around it, you know. He was around that. It was around all us people, and some proper gangsters. Believe me, come from Bermondsey and all that. You know, Bermondsey, Lewisham, Catford, Woolwich, all them proper gangsters. You know, proper gangsters, mate. Harvey Hayward, Billy Hayward. You know, all that lot come from all around them areas, yeah. So he had big people, big names that he was involved with. You know, and he doesn't mention any of these people, Brian Cox. Don't blame him, mate. He's done really well. He doesn't want to ruin his career. Mind you, he hasn't got to ruin it. He's a multi-up, and his son is the film director now as well. You know, I like Brian. I like Brian a lot. You know, he's still, anyone who stands bow for you, mate. He's a nice guy. You know, and it was a bad charge that I was on. So yeah, he was a good man. Anyway, Bang Bang Rail, please press the like button, and I'm going to put a thumbnail up of a poster of mine, yeah, when I fought a guy called Dave Strong at Ilford Palais, yeah, nice one.